When an African-American entrepreneur who built her fortune from nothing encounters outright bias from an airline crew that refuses to accept she owns the private plane, what happens next is a powerful lesson in strength and justice. From insult to victory, her response surprises everyone. Here's the story of Lila Monroe, a tale about courage, standing up, and smashing old limits. Lila Monroe, 35, a self-made billionaire in the entertainment business, stood beneath the bright sky of Los Angeles. The sunlight gleamed off her sleek silver bracelet, a quiet sign of the hard work that got her to the top. Wearing a sharp green blazer and black pants, she looked confident and calm. Today, she was flying to Chicago for a meeting. But for Lila, success never came easy. As she neared her private plane, she noticed a group of uniformed crew chatting nearby. Their whispers and cold stares carried an unmistakable disrespect. Leading the group was a stern man named Harold Bates, whose stiff posture seemed as rigid as his judgments. His cold brown eyes scanned Lila with disbelief. When she reached the plane's stairs, Harold stepped forward, forcing a polite smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Excuse me, ma'am," he said with forced politeness. "This plane is only for special guests. Maybe there's some confusion." Lila stopped, looking him straight in the eyes with steady calm. "No confusion here. This is my plane, Lila Monroe." Harold blinked, his face flashing surprise before twisting into a doubtful grin. "Right, let me verify that. Meanwhile, you can wait in the lounge." Behind her, Jake, Lila's assistant and longtime friend, felt his temper rise. He was ready to confront Harold, but Lila raised a hand to stop him. Without a word, she turned and walked toward the lounge. Inside, Lila settled into a plush chair in a luxurious waiting room. The fancy decor couldn't soften the sting of the insult. She took out her phone and called her lawyer, explaining calmly what had happened and what needed to be done next. Jake stood near the large windows, watching the crew outside. Their laughter and exaggerated gestures made their disrespect clear. His hands clenched tightly. Minutes dragged on slowly. When the lounge doors finally opened, Harold entered wearing his smug expression. "Sorry, but the owner isn't available right now," he said, pretending to regret the situation. Lila rose smoothly, her voice steady and cold. "Good, then we will talk here." Without waiting for him to reply, she strode past Harold, her heels clicking firmly on the floor. Jake followed, loyal and determined. At the plane's entrance, Lila took out her ID and showed it with quiet authority. The crew froze, their earlier confidence fading fast as they realized the truth. "This plane, it belongs to you?" Harold stammered, pale. "Yes," Lila replied sharply. "And you and your team are dismissed. Pack up and leave immediately." The crew filed out, shame replacing their arrogance. Lila watched from the top of the stairs, her gaze firm. When they were gone, she allowed herself a small, satisfied smile, but she wasn't done yet. She called her PR team. Cameras arrived quickly to capture the moment as the crew left. Lila stood at the top of the stairs, her posture powerful, a symbol of justice and strength. Within hours, the video went viral, sparking conversations worldwide about bias and unfair treatment. Hashtags like #KnowHerName and #FairSkis trended across social media, turning Lila's experience into a rallying cry for change. The airline released an apology filled with vague words, but Lila knew talk wasn't enough. At a press conference the next day, she spoke directly to the world. "This isn't just about me," she said firmly. "No matter who we are or how much we've achieved, discrimination still exists. It's time to face this problem head-on." Her words inspired many. 2 weeks later, Lila launched Clear Skies, a program aimed at making aviation fairer. It included scholarships for aspiring pilots from underrepresented groups, mandatory training for airline staff on diversity, and mentorship opportunities to break down barriers. The response was overwhelming. Former crew members wrote letters, eager to join the cause. Lila welcomed them, knowing their stories could help real change grow. As for Harold and his team, their careers ended quickly. Public outrage made sure they became examples, proof that discrimination carries consequences. On her first flight with the Clear Skies program, Lila boarded her plane with a crew as diverse as her vision. Each face showed hope and commitment to a fairer future. Settling into her seat, she looked out over the endless horizon. This flight wasn't just about reaching Chicago. It was about opening doors and giving everyone a chance to rise. Lila Monroe's experience was more than a personal victory. It became a powerful symbol of change. The moment she stood firm against injustice, she ignited a spark that spread far beyond a single airline or flight. It reminded the world that even the most successful individuals can face prejudice, and more importantly, that standing up to it can transform society. Her Clear Skies initiative was not just a program. It was a movement. Scholarships opened doors for young pilots from communities that had long been ignored. The mandatory training reshaped attitudes among airline staff, making workplaces safer and more welcoming. Mentorships created networks of support that extended far beyond the runway, inspiring future leaders to challenge outdated norms and claim their rightful place. But change is rarely easy or immediate. Lila knew that breaking barriers meant confronting uncomfortable truths and persistent resistance. Some dismissed her efforts as symbolic or questioned the need for such programs. Yet, she faced these challenges with the same determination that built her empire, refusing to back down, refusing to let prejudice go unchecked. Her story became a lesson in resilience and leadership. It showed that true power is not just about wealth or status, but about using that influence to uplift others and dismantle unfair systems. Lila's willingness to turn a humiliating encounter into a catalyst for progress inspired people everywhere to examine their own biases and speak out against injustice. Social media buzzed with conversations sparked by her viral video, as thousands shared their own experiences of discrimination and hope. The hashtags #KnowHerName and #ClearSkies united voices across continents, reminding everyone that these issues are not isolated. They are part of a larger struggle for dignity and equality. More airlines began adopting similar policies, recognizing that inclusion is not just ethical, but essential for growth. Lila's story showed that corporations must do more than issue apologies. They must take meaningful action and hold themselves accountable. Looking out over the endless horizon on that first Clear Skies flight, Lila felt a deep sense of purpose. She wasn't just traveling to a destination. She was helping to create a future where everyone could soar without limits, where talent and ambition mattered more than race or background. Her journey wasn't just a victory for herself, but a beacon of hope for countless others still fighting their own battles. It reminded us all that change begins with courage. The courage to confront injustice, to demand respect, and to build a world where fairness isn't the exception but the rule. Lila Monroe's story continues to inspire because it proves one thing. No matter the obstacles, standing up for what's right can rewrite the rules. And open skies for all.